Hey guys, for this video today I will be finally carrying on from where I left off last week when I did my live stream sharing my thoughts on all of the NFL's Color Rush uniforms. So what ended up happening last week is I did my live stream, my first one, where I went for an hour and 4 minutes and 10 seconds before YouTube cut me off due to my internet connection. And I just want to make a quick correction here just to make sure that I go on the record and say that I was incorrect when I said that my live stream was an hour and 24 minutes and I believe 10 seconds, because I know that what I did after the internet connection cut off last week is I carried on covering the remaining 11 teams that I still have to cover, thinking that YouTube would still record my thoughts on those uniforms as I was talking. But what ended up happening, unfortunately, is that after an hour and 4 minutes and 10 seconds, my live stream from a week ago as I'm filming this, because today is October 18th, 2019, what happened was that after it cut out, it stopped my entire live stream recording and stopped it right at an hour and 4 minutes and 10 seconds and then uploaded that part to YouTube for you guys to see. So the good news on that front is that I did cover most of the teams. I left off talking about the Philadelphia Eagles before my internet, of course, sadly cut out on me last week. But for this video today, I will be doing the continuation from that and finally finishing up the Color Rush uniforms and my thoughts on all of them. So I'm excited to be finally catching up on this because this has been something I've wanted to catch up on for a very long time. So what I'm going to do, though, is before I get into the final 11 teams from the Eagles to the left all the way over to the Saints in this photo, I'm going to go and quickly recap all of the other teams only because of the fact that there might have been times where my internet connection cut out. So I'm going to do my best to be quick and only cover the teams I've already covered briefly. But yeah, I'll quickly cover those real quick and then go on from where I carried off or left off at. So the purpose of this video is basically to be like a tomato, as one of my teachers back in, I believe, high school once said, and catch up. But anyways, let's start with the Chiefs. If they're going to do an alternate look, they should just take their inverted golden yellow jersey and wear that as an alternate uniform with red pants and contrasting socks. That would be a great third jersey, in my opinion. Even though, as I say that, though, after the Chiefs have only been in red and white for so long, seeing them in bright yellow would be a little bit weird. So I'm not sure if I necessarily think it would be the right thing bringing in a yellow alternate jersey, but here's the thing. It is a gorgeous jersey. So, I mean, if they did wear it for a game now and then, I wouldn't necessarily be against it, to be honest. But at the same time, it almost would be a little bit weird for the Chiefs now since they've only worn red and white for so damn long. Now, moving on to the Steelers, their Color Rush uniform, where it's strictly monochromatic gold on black, or gold and yellow on black, is okay. It's not my favorite uniform. I don't care for the big gold stripe on each side of the pants. And honestly, I'd rather see the Steelers wear their 70s throwbacks 3 times a year rather than wear it for 1 game a year and maybe this one for 1 or 2 games a year as well. I do agree with my subscriber, Sean, that they should just go back to their 70s uniforms that they did wear as a throwback uniform last season for a game or 2 as their main jerseys again. Now, moving on to the Redskins, I tip my hat to them for not forcing us to witness them wearing an all jersey-to-toe yellow leotard Power Ranger outfit. So that's good. They did wear monochrome burgundy once. That I remember because I watched that game, I believe, 2 or 3 years ago now. And the thing is that, you know, if they wore contrasting burgundy pants for 1 game a year, I could live with this jersey. But at the same time, I really do respect the Redskins for not electing to take part in the Color Rush like the NFL wanted them to. So I have a lot of respect for them for doing that. As for the Jets, as I said in my live stream last week, too much like the Rough Riders, but I am glad that this was the start or the catalyst for them going back to a lighter green for their main uniforms. However, they look too much like a mix between college football and the Saskatchewan Roughriders, and I'm not a fan of the monochromatic black, head-to-toe black alternate jersey. Or sorry, jersey to toe, because they've got bright green helmets now. But honestly, I mean, I think that the monochrome black uniform for a game a year is a total case of black for black's sake, and it's totally unnecessary. So it's disappointing, but you know what? At the same time, I am glad that the Jets have finally started to embrace a light green again. It's long overdue. As for the Cowboys, if they could just wear silver pants with this jersey and contrasting socks, I think that would be terrific. As for the Panthers, they should only wear this jersey with silver pants. They tried it with black pants this season for a game, and I hated it. It looked totally mismatched. Silver helmet, light blue jersey, black pants. Totally mismatched. If they wear this jersey with silver pants, it's excellent. If they don't, it does not look good. And I don't care for the one-piece light blue Power Ranger morph suit outfit at all. Now, as for the Browns, sadly, this is their only good jersey that they have left as of 2019. Thankfully, they've made it their home jersey for this season, but I really hope that they just go back to what they got rid of 5 years ago. They should have never changed away from that, in my opinion. I mean, if they want to do an interesting alternate uniform now and then, fine, but that's it. As for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, in my opinion, they have the worst, arguably the worst color rush uniform in the NFL. After the one game where they wore this color rush uniform with the pewter sash on each side of the chest, they took that off for the 2016 season all the way up till now, and it just looks like a giant red practice uniform, or it's a red practice jersey, and it looks like a red Mighty Morphin Power Rangers outfit, or a Power Ranger outfit. Anyway, it does not look good. It's a hideous uniform, and it's an additional hideous uniform on top of the worst uniforms in the NFL right now by a country mile and a half. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I just hope those rumors of them getting new uniforms next year are true, because to me, I just can't see the Buccaneers doing any worse than what they've got right now. Now, speaking of teams that could do worse, this one-piece light blue pajama Power Ranger look is not good. On top of that, I think they still wore the head-to-toe light blue with their new uniform design, and their new uniforms are really bad in my opinion, so it's disappointing. This is one team that I think should stop doing color rush uniforms because they look like a big giant light blue color rash as far as I'm concerned. As for the Cardinals, the red numbers on a black jersey with white trim, it works, but the white helmet with the monochrome black uniform just looks weird and not good. As for the Raiders, how can you not love them wearing their throwback, although the only difference that I can remember is that the numbers are silver instead of black, and that's it. But still, great looking uniform. I'm glad that the Raiders do wear that now and then. As I said in my live stream a week ago, the Broncos should just wear this with navy blue pants and have a matching away jersey and wear this full time. Great jersey, but the one-piece prison outfit, jumpsuit, whatever you want to call it, look is not good. As for the Bears, I respect them for not trying something new, and the monochrome navy blue with their uniform actually looks okay. But according to sources, supposedly at one point the NFL was trying to get them to bring back their orange third jersey and wear that as a one-piece monochromatic orange jumpsuit as their color rash uniform. I'm sorry, but monochromatic orange with orange pants does not look good. So thankfully the Bears said no. As for the Patriots, if they could just wear their regular silver pants with this jersey, it would be the perfect third jersey in my opinion. But even with monochrome navy blue, I can live with it. It's actually not a bad uniform at all. As for the Detroit Lions, I really do wish and still believe that they should have worn this for at least one game, considering that they were selling this jersey online for quite a while. And in fact, they might even be still selling it online if I remember correctly, and correct me if I'm wrong. So, Honestly, I mean, they should wear this for at least one game at some point. But now that they're wearing the monochrome gray uniform, I really do not like it at all. It is not a good uniform. And honestly, it's just not good. And I've not been a fan of the Detroit Lions' new uniforms either, by the way. As for the New York Giants, they need to wear contrasting socks here and bring back the matching blue jersey and go back to this look full time. It is far better than their current look, which I understand the Giants back in 2000 went to their current look as a way of throwing back to past eras of the New York Giants. But I don't like how their home jersey is a plain royal blue jersey, while the away jersey is just solid red on white with no royal blue anywhere. So I feel like the Giants have had for the past basically 20 years now a pair of mismatching uniforms. Thankfully, they didn't go with the monochromatic red uniform in the return of their red third jersey from the 2000s, like I hear they were initially considering at one point. But the Giants said no because they didn't want a big, ugly uniform that went against their traditional uniform identity, which I really respect. So there was also royal blue wearing their home jersey with royal blue pants and socks as well. That was also shot down by the Giants, and then they elected to do a white throwback uniform with white socks and white pants. And I think that was the best decision of all under the circumstances. But I think the Giants should bring back the matching royal blue jersey to match this one here with the red and white stripes on the sleeves and bring those back full time and keep the Giants word mark on the helmet instead of the New York monogram logo, which I think the Giants word mark looks better too. Now, moving on to the Chargers real quick. If they could just wear this uniform with white pants once a year, I'd be all for it. But the all royal blue Power Ranger suit, I'm not a fan. Speaking of things I'm not a fan of, this 49ers jersey is beyond me not being a fan. I absolutely despise the jersey and the entire uniform from jersey to toe. Those bright, beautiful gold helmets are paired with this hideous one-piece black morph suit, and it looks hideous. There's not even white trim on the numbers for contrast. I mean, as much as I think the Cardinals Color Rush uniform is not very good, Color Rush, you know what? At least it's got some white numbers and white accents for a bit of contrast, even though the white helmet looks stupid with it. But in the 49ers case, it's red on black. It makes the red look darker, and it just bleeds into the black so bad. It is a hideous uniform. And thankfully, last season, they brought back a white throwback uniform with black drop shadow numbers. And honestly, I think we can all agree for the most part that is the perfect alternate monochromatic type of look for the 49ers. And that's the Color Rush uniform they should have had. Now, thankfully, I think that when the 49ers wore that white throwback last season, they wore it with white pants, but they had contrasting socks. Now, that's the way it should be done, where if you want to do a one-piece uniform, that's fine if it's white or black, but you should have contrasting socks. That's a big thing. Even for a team like the Saints, their Color Rush uniform is really quite nice, but if they could just wear it with contrasting gold or even black socks, it would be that much better. And the cases where you've got teams with brighter colors, like the Seahawks and the Rams and the Broncos, they should be allowed to wear contrasting pants. Now, moving on to the Bengals, I tip my hat to them for trying something new. I'm still not a fan of the white Siberian tiger-inspired look. It's not a good look. The orange trim on the names on the back, but no orange trim on the numbers looks weird and stupid to me. They should have just done a monochromatic black throwback uniform. That would have been very well received, and it's a shame that they did not do that instead. This white Color Rush uniform is definitely an interesting experiment, and I tip my hat to the Bengals for trying something new, but honestly, yeah, it was not very good. As for the Falcons, as I said in my live stream last week, add some stripes to the sleeves of this, wear contrasting pants, and make a matching white jersey, and wear that full time. As for the Rams, seriously, they should have if they could just wear contrasting blue pants, holy crap, this would be an awesome alternate uniform 2 to 3 times a year. Now, moving on to the Philadelphia Eagles. The monochromatic black uniform I can live with because I've already been used to, like you guys, seeing them in black alternates every year for many, many years now, going back like over 20 years, I believe. So it's just a bit of a bummer that they can't wear it with white pants all the time, because that to me is the best look for them in terms of their alternate uniform. Now, I'm going to skip the Ravens for a moment and go to the Seahawks. Now, the jersey to toe action neon green uniform is really, really, really bad. It looks like nuclear slime. And according to legend, the Los Angeles Rams lost their game to the Seattle Seahawks that they've played, the one game they've played against each other so far this season, or at least the one game in Seattle so far this season, because the kicker was blinded by the atrociously bright uniforms that the Seahawks were wearing. That's according to the legend that I just made up for the purpose of this video. But anyways, my point is that this is an already ultra-modern collegiate type of uniform style anyway. So seeing the Seahawks do something radical, I can live with it. But here's the thing. I really do believe that if they could just wear navy blue pants with this uniform, and the Rams as well, both teams would have awesome alternate uniforms. And in the Seahawks case, for one game a year, in my opinion, it would actually be a perfect alternate uniform. Now, would I want them to wear that more than the wolf gray alternates that they've had since 2012? No. But for one game a year, I could totally live with it if they were just allowed to wear this with their navy blue pants. Goodness me, that would be so much better. Now, before I go back to the Ravens, I want to quickly cover the Packers, who as of Monday, October the 14th, I believe. I know it was this week as I'm filming this because it's October 18th, 2019 today. But the Packers did wear their monochromatic white color rush uniform this week for their game. And if they could just wear this uniform with contrasting socks for one game a year, I could totally live with it. And the white pants don't look too bad, actually. But my problem is that I don't want to see the Packers wear the white pants as part of their regular uniform rotation, to be quite honest. So if they do it once a year with contrasting socks, then I could certainly live with it. But until they get that fixed, or at least until they're allowed to make that fix, the white monochromatic uniform for the Packers just does not look great to me whatsoever. So now let's go back to the Ravens, and let's drag the Minnesota Vikings in here as well. Between the two teams, I think that the Ravens color rush uniform is really bad. I know, if I remember correctly, the Ravens did wear monochrome purple this season for a game so far, but they wore their regular purple jersey with white numbers instead of this atrocity. The metallic gold on purple look, in my opinion, is hideous, and the monochrome purple look is hideous as well. At least in the Vikings case, they use yellow instead of metallic gold. So the gold and yellow instead of the metallic gold is much better. But I didn't like how the Vikings jersey here and uniform is totally void of white. That is not right. The reason that yellow and white, or a purple jersey, looks good with gold and yellow on it is because with yellow on purple, there's white for extra contrast. One example I can think of is the Los Angeles Kings 67 purple throwback jersey. Although it's got a heavy emphasis on being yellow on purple, there's a little bit of white accents on the numbers. And I find that it's a nice additional complement to the uniform. So seeing the Vikings in a head-to-toe purple uniform is just not good. And thankfully, it looks like the Vikings have not worn this uniform, thankfully, in a long, long time, and hopefully it stays that way. I don't know about you viewers out there, but I think the only uniforms the Vikings should have are their regular home and away uniforms and a throwback uniform once in a while, which I wish they would wear one now and then. But back to the Ravens, this look with their black helmets, oh God, what a horrible uniform. I've seen it. It's ugly. And the Vikings is too. It's just a little bit less ugly in my opinion because of the use of yellow instead of metallic gold. But to me, Here's how I honestly feel about both teams' color rush uniforms. I feel like they were designed by Barney the dinosaur. It's like Barney sat them down and he said, I love you, that you guys can see, so why not wear monochromatic purple and look just like me? And by the way, I'm not saying that as a compliment either. I mean, this monochromatic purple business has got to stop. Hopefully we never see it again, because in my opinion, it's horrible. Whether it's college football or the NFL, it is an atrocious look. My goodness. The thing that pisses me off the most about the Color Rush program is that there are some teams with really great jerseys, like, for example, the Broncos, the Patriots, even the Giants, the Cowboys, and I'm talking about new designs that were created as a part of the Color Rush program. The Rams, the Falcons, even the Chargers, the Seahawks, in my opinion, the Bills, and the Saints, and actually Houston's is okay too. But the thing is they can't wear contrasting pants, where if they can wear contrasting pants or even contrasting socks, it would make their uniforms so much better and would actually make them quite nice. But anyways, moving on to the Bills. I understand where people are coming from, where they say it looks a little bit reminiscent of the Patriots' red Boston Patriots throwbacks. But you know what? I think it's like that. It's similar in a good way. The striping is different. And you know what? If the Bills could just wear this damn jersey with white pants, it would not be a great alternate uniform for even just one lousy game a year or what? I don't know about you guys out there, but you viewers out there, but for me, that's one of the best Color Rush jerseys that's come out. Now, a uniform that's not so good, the Miami Dolphins. The monochrome orange prison jumpsuit look is not a good look. I mean, with the white helmet, it almost looks like they're astronauts, gridiron astronauts almost, and it's not a compliment either. But yeah, it's not a good looking uniform. Thankfully, the orange is gone. But I actually heard at one point when they still had that navy bluish anthracite color, I believe it was called, they were actually going to consider at one point doing a monochromatic navy blue monochrome uniform of some sort. So I'm glad they rejected that and went with orange. But monochrome orange is so bad, though. So you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't in that case, because the Dolphins in navy blue is not right. But them in monochrome orange is also bad too. Stupid Color Rush program. And now at times they wear monochrome teal, or as they call it, aqua. It's not a good look, and I hope the Dolphins realize that it's something they shouldn't wear. I know some people like it, but for me, monochrome teal is hideous. Now, moving on to the Texans. I mean, this is just a slightly altered version of their home jersey, just like what the Arizona Coyotes have done. Or, sorry, the Cardinals. I'm thinking hockey, my bad. The Cardinals, they've got a slightly altered version of their third jersey. And it's fine, I guess. But in the Texans' case, it's better. I like their uniform style a lot better than the Cardinals, who I think should have had new jerseys 10 years ago, for Christ's sake. I'm not a fan of their uniforms whatsoever. As for the Texans, a slightly altered version of their regular home jersey, I can live with it once a year. But I do prefer their regular one, though. So as for the Jacksonville Jaguars, in my opinion, they had the worst Color Rush jersey of all. The monochromatic mustard gold on top of those half gold, half matte black helmets. Jesus Christ, I don't know who thought this was a good idea, but seriously, if you're going to do monochrome metallic-y gold, don't do mustard. Do the type of gold that even the Saints have, and you would have an okay uniform. But this baby poo Dijon mustard gold color is atrocious. It was atrocious, and in my opinion, is the worst Color Rush uniform of all. If I said it wasn't earlier, my bad. I'm correcting myself now if I haven't already. But this monochrome gold was hideous. I believe even Blake Bortles, their quarterback, even said it was a hideous uniform. And I tip my hat to him for having the balls to go on social media and say that, if it was him who said that, or whichever player said it. I tip my hat to them for having the balls to go on Twitter and say, hey, these uniforms are garbage. Good for you, because thankfully they're now gone. Now, I don't like it when the Jaguars wear their new much improved teal jersey with teal pants and teal socks either. I'm sick of these monochromatic gold and teal looks because they're not good, and the Jaguars need to stop that. I also don't like it when they wear monochrome black either. I'm tired of the one-piece black jumpsuit look. Them and the Saints, in my opinion, are the top suspects. That's the right word for that. And it's something that I'm really tired of. And, you know, in the Jaguars case, thankfully they've improved their uniforms since they retired this color rash disaster and the rest of the uniforms it was with. But they still have some work to do, at least in my opinion. As for the Colts, thankfully they did not try a new jersey, but monochrome royal blue is not good. I mean, this is Go-Go Power Rangers all over again, and it's not a compliment either. I love the Colts uniforms. They're some of my absolute favorite uniforms in the NFL. They're simple, they're elegant, and they're damn good looking. And they're beautiful uniforms, and I hope they never change. So I'm glad that I haven't seen them in all monochromatic royal blue, and I hope it stays that way. Now, finally, my favorite color rush uniform of all, the New Orleans Saints. I love the 60s throwback. I noticed that last season when the NFL allowed teams to wear alternate uniforms up to 3 times a year, the Saints took advantage and wore it for all 3 games that they could wear it for. It is honestly my favorite jersey of all, out of all of the color rush uniforms. And if they could just wear it with gold pants or even gold socks, it should be their main away jersey and bring back the matching home jersey as well. And a rant on the Saints, I'm sick of them wearing black pants. They should stick with gold all the time. That's what I love about the Saints, being black and metallic gold. It's a beautiful color scheme, and the Saints need to embrace the gold. And another thing, they need to embrace these throwbacks and go back to them full time. They are absolutely gorgeous. Just make the helmets match the gold on the numbers and the jersey, and even the pants as well. Bring out some gold pants to go with this, and holy crap, you've got some of the best uniforms in the NFL as far as I'm concerned. But anyways, you guys, I've been talking for almost a half an hour. I wanted to finally get these Color Rush uniforms out of the way and finally share my thoughts on all 32 of them. And I'd love to hear what you guys think. And I hope that you guys were okay, with me covering the rest of them that I covered last week, just in case my internet cut out on any of them as I was talking. Because the thing is I thought it'd be good to just quickly touch base on them just in case. And yeah, I just thought I'd do that first, and I'm glad that now today I finally sat down and got this video done for you guys. So I hope you have enjoyed this video if you stuck around all the way through, and I'm going to call it a wrap now. And of course, you guys, until my next video, take care, and of course, as usual, folks, bye for now.